Congressman, I know that there have been 4 deaths in Travis County in your district. What are your thoughts today as we see this devastation continue? How are search and rescue efforts doing, and how are folks in your community doing?
Well, it's just a really painful, heartbreaking catastrophe. 2 of the little girls that are missing in Kerr County, about 100 miles from Austin, are from the elementary school that members of my family have attended. And here in Travis County, the same weather system moved and caused some devastation here. As you said, 4 dead, 11 to 13 missing. I think every effort is being made, and I certainly salute all the emergency crews and law enforcement that are out there in our county and in Kerr County doing all they can to check for any other survivors and to help those who have survived get by, because in many places in my county, roads are out, access is limited, in some cases only by boat.
Are there still places where comms are down, like you just said, you can't access, where people may actually be okay and we just haven't been able to get to them yet? Or have search and rescue teams pretty much made contact with most of the area?
I believe that there's still some search and rescue going on. In our county, there have been about 50 rescues that have occurred already. Fortunately, it's not raining at the moment, but we may have rain again in the next 24 hours. So their work is cut out for them, and all of us appreciative of the efforts they've made, of the support within the communities, but really feeling the pain of the loss of children, of others who were in this area enjoying a weekend or a summer camp and now face the worst pain of their lives.
It's just really, really heartbreaking. I'm wondering, as you look at this, the last time this area had this kind of flooding was back in the 80s, but it does seem these severe weather events are happening more and more often. What action do we need to take? What action should governments take? How do you keep people safe?
Well, as you mentioned, this is not entirely unusual in the hill country. In fact, they've called themselves kind of a flood alley over in the Kerr County area that's so beautiful and attracts people from all over Texas. I think there are a couple of things. First, we have to look at the impact of the DOGE Trump cuts on the National Weather Service. The San Angelo and the Austin San Antonio offices have about twice as many vacancies now as when Trump came into office. Some of the most experienced people that are there for weather alerts, and clearly there was not enough of an alert in Kerr County. And we need to investigate and determine whether these shortages at the National Weather Service, which some people are urging be privatized and changed tremendously, whether that happens. I've been asking about the impact of these cutbacks on our weather service in this area for about 6 weeks, repeated requests, and cannot get an answer out of the Trump administration. And the second, maybe even more far-reaching effect is the fact that the climate crisis is real. And I believe the estimate is that for every 1 degree that the weather temperature goes up in Fahrenheit, you have about a 4% increase in the moisture content. And so we have weather intensification. So whether it is recognizing those dangers of climate crisis or adequately staffing NOAA and the National Weather Service, my concern is that not other communities, maybe it's not a flood, maybe it's a hurricane, maybe it is a tornado, that whatever the nature of the natural disaster, that we are prepared to inform and alert people so that they do not face the calamity that we've had here in Texas.
Congressman, I want to follow up with something you just said. Do you believe there's a correlation between the cuts to these services and insufficient warnings to folks in Hill Country before these floods hit?
I think it's a matter of investigating thoroughly to see. I know there are a number of important vacant positions, and that I and others have been asking for some time how this affects our preparedness here and ability to give alerts. I also know that on a bipartisan basis, every living former director of the National Weather Service has expressed concerns about this very thing, that if you do not have experienced people there, you cannot get the alerts out fast enough. Whether that actually happened here, we don't have all the facts yet. But we do have the concern that if not here, somewhere else, these cutbacks will lead to death.
All right. And while I